Seeing in this poll, Rajdeep, it's very clear that Nitish Kumar is no longer the Teflon-coated Nitish that he was for the last 15 years. A lot of his sheen, because of the migrant crisis, because of he's been in power for three straight terms, because he's jumped ship from the BJP to the RJD, back to the BJP. This is a man who, in the eyes of his voters, where he's been loved for a decade and a half, has lost some of that sheen. That's very clear, Rajdeep.
That's right. Also remember, Rahul, that Nitish Kumar is now the longest serving chief minister of any North Indian state.
Sure.
I mean, 15 years with just one small gap when Jitan Ram Majhi was chief minister. Nitish Kumar has dominated Bihar politics for a long time. So from February 2005, when he first appeared to scent power, that was a very short-lived government, to today, where he's hoping to win another 5-year term. That's a pretty 15 years of very
At the
long
end of
time.
15 years, Sheila Dikshit was almost toxic in the eyes of the voters of Delhi. They wanted her out.
That's
so
right.
in that sense, if you compared with someone who was once popular like a Sheila Dikshit, Nitish Kumar still maintains some level of popularity. But if you look at the next data set that's coming on your screen right now, and this is to do with who voters want as the next chief minister of the state of Bihar. 31% of the respondents say they want Nitish Kumar as the next chief minister. But look at Tejashwi Yadav. You know, he was dismissed by his critics as being a greenhorn, as being an unwilling politician, as a dinist who wasn't really going out in the manner that Lalu Yadav did, but he's just 4% away. And if to that 27% we add the 3% residual vote that Lalu Yadav still gets, then the Lalu family is 30% vis-a-vis 31% of Nitish Kumar. Earlier, Rajdeep, Nitish Kumar was heads and shoulders ahead of anybody else in the state of Bihar. The 30-year-old young Tejashwi Yadav is already caught up, and there's only a 4% gap. And if I add Lalu, then that's 30. That's a 1% gap then.
That's right. And if you look at 31%, it clearly suggests that, you know, unlike, say, particularly 10 years ago, when Nitish was the overwhelming choice for chief minister, he now has opposition. Add Lalu, as you said, 27 and 3, that's 30. Add Chirag, Paswan, 5%. Remember, he's campaigning on an anti-Nitish plan. Clearly suggests that there is, as we've been saying, not just a residue of anti-incumbency, there's a substantial amount of anti-Nitish feeling on the ground, which the likes of Tejashwi are hoping to capitalize on.
But given how much criticism Tejashwi Yadav is coming from, given the fact that, you know, during COVID and even otherwise, people said, nikalta nahi hai, ghar mein baithta hai, 11 baje to jag ke nikalta hai. In comparison, the data seems to suggest that Tejashwi Yadav has been able to build himself up in the esteem of the voters of Bihar and has emerged as a successor of Lalu Yadav, at least in the eyes of those who say they'll vote for the Gadbandhan.
With one caveat, Rahul, they have no option. You know, at the moment, there is no other opposition leader who has carried any kind of credibility. So the entire Lalu vote, in a sense, is transferring to Tejashwi. So he can now claim with these numbers that he is emerging as an inheritor of the Lalu vote. But that may not be enough, because that means you are the inheritor of the traditional Muslim Yadav combine of Lalu Prasad, but you may not emerge. You need MY plus, and that may not happen with Tejashwi Yadav.
So we'll come to the vote share and the seat share in a bit, but what we can see right now is that Nitish Kumar's stature is diminished. As Rajdeep says, because there is no one else and Tejashwi is the opposition's chief ministerial face, his popularity seems to be catching up. Let's now introduce the guests joining us on this special broadcast. We've got Sandeep. Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.